What if the secret to conquering your stress was hidden in a 2,000-year-old philosophy? Picture yourself overwhelmed, your mind racing with deadlines, expectations, and endless to-do lists. Now imagine a way to cut through that chaos, to find calm in the storm, not by escaping it, but by mastering your own thoughts. That's the power of Stoicism. And it's not just ancient wisdom, it's a practical toolkit for thriving in today's high-pressure world. Welcome to Daily Stoic Habits, where we dive deep into timeless strategies for living better. Starting with this video on how Stoicism can transform the way you handle stress. If you're ready to take control of your mind and live with more peace, hit that subscribe button for Daily Stoic Habits and ring the bell so you never miss a step on this journey. Let's be real, life can feel like a pressure cooker. You're juggling work, relationships, maybe a side hustle, and the constant buzz of notifications doesn't let up. Your heart races, your shoulders tense, and that knot in your stomach just won't quit. Stress isn't just a feeling, a thief robbing you of focus, energy, and even your health. But here's the thing, you don't have to let it run the show. Stoicism, born in the bustling streets of ancient Greece and Rome, offers a way to reclaim your power. It's not about ignoring stress or pretending everything's fine. It's about training your mind to see challenges differently, to focus on what you can control and to let go of what you can't. Think of it like mental martial arts, deflecting the blows of life with clarity and strength. Why does this matter now? Because we're living in a world that's louder, faster, and more demanding than ever. From the ping of a new email to the weight of big life decisions, stress creeps in everywhere. But Stoicism teaches us that the real battle isn't out there, it's in here, in your head. Philosophers like Marcus Aurelius, a Roman emperor who faced wars and betrayals, or Epictetus, a former slave who found freedom in his mind, didn't just survive tough times, they thrived. They discovered that stress doesn't come from events themselves, but from how we interpret them. That's a game changer. What if you could rewire your reactions, turning obstacles into opportunities? That's not just a nice idea, it's a skill you can learn. It starts with understanding a few key principles we'll unpack today. This video is your guide to making Stoicism work for you. Right now, in the mess of modern life, we're not talking about sitting cross-legged on a mountain, chanting mantras. This is about practical, no-nonsense strategies you can use at your desk, in traffic, or when life throws you a curveball. We'll explore how to shift your perspective, accept what you can't change, and act with purpose, all rooted in Stoic wisdom. By the end, you'll have a clear roadmap to start reducing stress today. Not tomorrow, not next week, but today. And trust me, once you start practicing these ideas, you'll wonder how you ever got by without them. So, stick with us, because this isn't just another self-help talk, it's a call to take back your peace of mind. Let's dive in. Life often feels like a whirlwind, with challenges piling up faster than we can handle. Amid this chaos, an ancient philosophy offers clarity and strength. Stoicism. Born over 2 millennia ago, Stoicism isn't just a set of dusty ideas. It's a practical guide for navigating hardship with resilience. Its roots trace back to Athens around 300 BCE, when Zeno of Citium, a merchant-turned-philosopher, began teaching in the Stoipoikal, a painted colonnade that gave the philosophy its name. After losing his fortune in a shipwreck, Zeno didn't crumble. He rebuilt his life by focusing on what he could control, his thoughts and actions. This core idea became the heartbeat of Stoicism, a philosophy that spread across Greece and Rome, shaping lives from slaves to emperors. Stoicism's central premise is deceptively simple. Focus on what's in your power and let go of what isn't. It teaches that external events, wealth, fame, Even the actions of others are beyond our control, but our reactions, judgments, and choices are entirely ours. This isn't about suppressing emotions or becoming a stone-faced robot. It's about cultivating inner strength, so life's storms don't knock you off course. The Stoics believed that by mastering your mind, you could find tranquility, or eudaimonia, a state of flourishing no matter the circumstances. They saw virtuousdom, courage, justice, and temperance as the path to a good life, not fleeting pleasures or external success. Three towering figures brought Stoicism to life: Seneca, Epictetus, and Marcus Aurelius. Seneca, a Roman statesman and playwright, lived a life of contrasts. He advised emperors, amassed wealth, and faced exile and betrayal. Yet his letters and essays reveal a man wrestling with his own flaws. He urged readers to practice self-reflection, to face fears head-on, and to live each day as if it were there. Last, his writings are raw, relatable, and packed with insights on managing anger, grief, and ambition. Seneca didn't just preach, he admitted his struggles, making his advice feel human and grounded. Epictetus, born a slave in Phrygia, embodied Stoicism's transformative power. Despite his lack of freedom, he found liberation in his mind. After gaining his freedom, he taught philosophy in Rome and later Greece, emphasizing that true freedom comes from controlling your perspective. His teachings, recorded by his student Arrian in the Discourses in Enchiridion, are blunt and practical. Epictetus argued that we suffer not because of events, but because of our judgments about them. A spilled coffee or a rude coworker isn't the problem, it's how we interpret those moments. His advice? Reflect and choose a response aligned with reason. Marcus Aurelius, the Roman emperor, brought Stoicism to the pinnacle of power. Ruling an empire plagued by war, disease, and betrayal, he turned to philosophy for solace. His meditations, written as private reflections, reveal a man striving to stay virtuous under pressure. He reminded himself to focus on the present, to accept fate, and to act with kindness, even toward enemies. Marcus didn't write for fame. His words were a personal anchor, a reminder to stay grounded amid chaos. His example shows that Stoicism isn't just for quiet scholars, it's for anyone facing real-world demands at its core. Stoicism's key principle is the dichotomy of control. Picture a circle. Inside are your thoughts, choices, and actions. Outside are everything else, whether traffic, other people's opinions. The Stoics urge us to pour energy into that inner circle and release the rest. This isn't passive resignation, but active empowerment. By focusing on your response to a crisis, you reclaim agency. Lost your job? You can't control the economy, but you can control how you search for new opportunities. Someone cuts you off in traffic? You can't change their behavior, but you can choose not to let anger ruin your day. This principle sounds straightforward, but it's a lifelong practice. The Stoics use tools like journaling, visualization, and self-questioning to build this mental muscle. They'd ask, "Is this in my control?" to cut through emotional fog. They'd visualize worst-case scenarios, not to dwell on gloom, but to prepare for adversity. This proactive mindset shifts stress from a paralyzing force to a challenge you're equipped to meet. Stoicism doesn't promise a stress-free life. It offers a framework to face stress with clarity and courage, turning obstacles into opportunities for growth. Stress is a word we toss around daily, but what is mental stress really? It's that gnawing feeling when your mind feels like a browser, with too many tabs open each, one screaming for attention. Scientifically, mental stress is the body's response to demands that exceed your ability to cope, triggering a cascade of physical and emotional reactions. Your heart races, thoughts spiral, and suddenly, A small problem feels like a mountain. It's not just feeling overwhelmed. It's your brain and body sounding an alarm, often rooted in perceived threats, whether it's a looming deadline or a heated argument. Stress isn't always bad. Short bursts can sharpen focus, but when it lingers, it wears you down like water eroding stone. Where does this mental weight come from? One major culprit is work. Picture a Monday morning, emails piling up, a boss breathing down your neck, and a project due yesterday. The modern workplace, with its relentless pace and blurred boundaries, is a stress factory. Studies show over 60% of workers report job-related stress fueled by long hours, tight deadlines, or toxic environments. It's not just office jobs. Gig workers, teachers, healthcare professionals, all face unique pressures. The constant demand to perform, innovate, or just keep up can make your mind feel like it's running a marathon with no finish line. Relationships are another stress hotspot. Whether it's a partner, family, or friends, human connections, while vital, can spark tension. A fight with a spouse over dishes can escalate into a referendum on your entire relationship. Miscommunications, unmet expectations, or betrayal cut deep, leaving emotional scars. Even positive relationships can stress you out. Think of planning a wedding or navigating a friend's crisis. Social dynamics are messy. They pull us between love and frustration. Loneliness, too, is a silent stressor as isolation amplifies. Anxiety in a world that's hyper-connected yet often feels distant. Then there's the invisible pressure of societal expectations. Scroll through social media, and you're bombarded with images of perfect lives, flawless careers, dream vacations, curated families. This comparison game breeds inadequacy. Society sets benchmarks. Get a degree, buy a house, climb the ladder, all while looking effortlessly happy. Falling short or even questioning these goals can spark self-doubt. Cultural norms, like the hustle mindset or the pressure to always be on, add fuel. For many, the fear of failure or judgment looms large, turning every decision into a high-stakes test. The impact of chronic stress on mental health is brutal. It's like a fog that clouds your thoughts, making focus elusive. Anxiety creeps in, feeding on worst-case scenarios. Over time, stress can spiral into depression, draining joy from things you once loved. Sleep becomes a battleground. Your mind replays worries instead of resting. Studies link prolonged stress to higher risks of mood disorders, with over 20% of adults reporting mental health struggles tied to stress. It's a vicious cycle. Stress fuels anxiety, which fuels more stress, trapping you in a mental maze. Physically, stress is a wrecking ball. When your brain perceives a threat, it floods your body with cortisol and adrenaline. This fight-or-flight response is great for outrunning danger, but terrible when it's constant. Your heart rate spikes, blood pressure climbs, and muscles tense, leading to headaches or back pain. Over time, chronic stress weakens your immune system, making you more prone to illness. Research shows it's a factor in heart disease, diabetes, and even digestive issues like IBS. Ever feel your stomach churn before a big meeting? That's stress, hijacking your body's systems. Stress also messes with your behavior. Some people overeat, seeking comfort in junk food. Others lose their appetite entirely. It can drive you to snap at loved ones or withdraw into silence. Addictions like scrolling endlessly, drinking, or smoking often flare up as coping mechanisms. These habits offer temporary relief, but deepen the stress trap, creating guilt or health issues that pile on more pressure. It's like trying to bail out a sinking boat with a teaspoon. The sources of stress work. Relationships, societal pressures aren't going away. They're woven into modern life. but understanding their roots is the first step to managing them. Mental stress isn't just a personal failing. It's a universal challenge amplified by a world that demands more than we can always give. Its effects, from clouded minds to aching bodies, show how deeply it permeates our lives. Recognizing this isn't about dwelling on the problem, but about arming yourself with clarity. By seeing stress for what it is, a reaction you can influence you, open the door to strategies that shift the battle in your favor. Stoicism offers a lifeline in the storm of mental stress. Not by eliminating life's challenges, but by reshaping how we face them. Its practical tools controlling perception, practicing acceptance, and focusing on virtuous action equip us to handle stress with clarity and strength. These strategies, rooted in ancient wisdom, are like mental armor, helping us navigate modern pressures with resilience, controlling perception, reframing the problem your mind as a lens, coloring every experience. Stoicism teaches that stress doesn't come from events but from how we interpret them. A missed deadline, a cutting remark, or a flat tire isn't inherently catastrophic. It's our judgment that makes it so. Epictetus put it bluntly, you have power over your mind, not outside events. By controlling perception, you can shrink stress before it spirals. Start by pausing when stress hits. Imagine you're stuck in traffic, late for a meeting. Your first instinct might be frustration. Picturing a ruined day? Instead, ask, what story am I telling myself? The traffic isn't out to get you, it's just cars on a road. Reframe it. This is a chance to breathe, listen to music, or mentally prep for your meeting. This shift isn't denial. It's choosing a perspective that serves you. Seneca advised examining our thoughts like a judge, not a victim. When stress flares, write down what's upsetting you, then challenge it. Is this as bad as it seems? Will it matter in a week? Often we catastrophize, turning molehills into mountains. By questioning these distortions, you loosen their grip. Studies in cognitive psychology echo this, showing that reframing thoughts reduces anxiety by up to 30%. Another trick is to view challenges as tests. Marcus Aurelius saw obstacles as opportunities to practice patience or courage. A rude coworker isn't a personal attack, but a chance to stay calm. This mindset transforms stress into growth, making you less reactive. Practice daily. When something irritates you, reframe it as neutral or even beneficial. Over time, this rewires your brain, making calm your default. Practicing acceptance, embracing what can't be changed. Stress often stems from fighting reality, wishing things were different. Stoicism's answer is radical acceptance, or amor fati, loving your fate. This doesn't mean passivity, but acknowledging what's beyond your control. You can't change a rainy day, a canceled flight, or someone else's behavior. Resisting these facts only fuels frustration. Acceptance starts with the dichotomy of control. Picture two buckets. One for things you can influence, your effort, attitude. Another for things you can't weather, opinions. Stress grows when you obsess over the second bucket. Epictetus taught that freedom lies in letting go of what's not yours. If your flight's delayed, you can't control the plane, but you can control how you spend the weight reading, stretching, or staying patient. Try the reserve clause, a Stoic habit of acting with flexibility. When planning, add if fate allows. This softens attachment to outcomes. If a project flops despite your best effort, accept it and move on. Research shows acceptance-based coping lowers cortisol levels, easing physical stress. It's not giving up, it's redirecting energy to what matters. Daily practice builds this muscle. Each morning, visualize potential setbacks, a tough meeting, a sick kid, and mentally accept them. This isn't pessimism, but preparation. When setbacks hit, you're ready, not rattled. Acceptance also means forgiving yourself. Made a mistake? It's done. Learn and keep going. It frees you from the stress of regret, letting you live lighter, focusing on right action, acting on personal values. Stoicism isn't just about thinking differently, it's about acting with purpose. Stress often arises when we feel powerless, but taking right action restores agency. This means aligning your choices with your values: wisdom, courage, justice, temperance, regardless of outcomes. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Do what's in your power and do it well." First, clarify your values. What matters most? Honesty? Kindness? Write them down. When stress hits, ask, what action reflects my values? If you're stressed about a work conflict, a courageous response might be addressing it calmly, not avoiding it. This focus cuts through indecision, a major stress trigger. Studies show value-driven actions boost self-esteem, reducing anxiety. Right action is about effort, not results. You can't control if a client likes your pitch, but you can control how thoroughly you prepare. This shifts stress from external validation to internal integrity. Seneca emphasized doing your duty, even in small tasks, returning a call promptly, listening fully. These micro-choices build a sense of control, grounding you. Asterisk practice by setting one value-based goal daily. If kindness is your value, help a colleague. Discipline, finish a task early. These acts, however small, create momentum. When life feels chaotic, return to action. Stuck in a rut? Clean your desk, exercise, or write a gratitude note. Motion sparks clarity. By acting in line with your values, you build a life where stress doesn't dictate your path, you do. Stoicism offers practical tools to tame stress and build mental resilience. These exercises, reflective journaling, negative visualization, and questioning control, turn philosophy into action. Grounding you in any storm, start with Stoic journaling. Each evening, grab a notebook and reflect on your day. Ask, what went well? Where did I falter? How can I improve? Seneca used this to examine his actions, spotting patterns like anger or procrastination. I'd honestly, as if advising a friend. For example, if you snapped at a coworker, note the trigger and plan a calmer response next time. This isn't self-criticism, but clarity. Spend 10 minutes focusing on choices, not outcomes. Studies show journaling reduces anxiety by organizing thoughts, making stress feel manageable. Over weeks, you'll see growth, reinforcing your ability to handle challenges. Next, practice premeditatio, malorum, or negative visualization. This isn't wallowing in doom, but preparing for adversity. Each morning, take 5 minutes to imagine potential setbacks: a tough meeting, a delayed project, or a personal conflict. Picture them vividly, then plan your response. If a client rejects your work, how will you stay calm and pivot? Marcus Aurelius used this to face war and betrayal without panic. By anticipating obstacles, you rob them of their shock value.
Nice. Research
In psychology supports this. Visualizing challenges boosts confidence and lowers stress. Keep it brief to avoid dread, focusing on your reaction, not the event. This builds a mental shield, ready for life's curveballs. Finally, ask the Stoic question: is this within my control? When stress spikes, essay a rude email or bad weather, pause and apply this filter. Epictetus taught that only your thoughts, actions, and attitudes are yours. Everything else is external. If a colleague's attitude frustrates you, you can't change them, but you can control your response. This question cuts through emotional fog, redirecting energy to what matters. Practice it throughout the day, especially in tense moments. Jot it on a sticky note or set a phone reminder. Studies on cognitive behavioral therapy show that focusing on controllable factors reduces feelings of helplessness. With repetition, this becomes instinct, shrinking stress's grip. These tools, journaling, visualizing setbacks, and questioning control, are simple but powerful. Dedicate a few minutes daily, starting small. Journal at night, visualize in the morning, and ask the control question during conflicts. They're like workouts for your mind, building strength over time. Stoicism isn't about instant fixes, but consistent practice. By integrating these habits, you'll not only manage stress, but grow into a calmer, more resilient version of yourself, ready to face whatever comes. Stoicism isn't just ancient wisdom. It's a practical lifeline for taming mental stress in our fast-paced world. By reshaping how you perceive challenges, accepting what you can't change, and acting with purpose, this philosophy empowers you to face life's chaos with clarity and strength. The benefits are tangible: reduced anxiety, sharper focus, and a sense of control that anchors you, no matter the storm. Studies show mindfulness practices like Stoicism lower cortisol levels and boost mental resilience, helping you thrive under pressure. It's not about erasing stress, but transforming it into a catalyst for growth, making you calmer, wiser, and more grounded. The key to unlocking these benefits lies in consistent practice, like building muscle, Stoic habits, journaling, visualizing setbacks, or questioning what's in your control. Grow stronger with daily effort. Start small, maybe 5 minutes of reflection each night, or a quick pause to reframe a frustration. Over time, these actions become second nature, rewiring your mind to handle stress with ease. Research in habit formation suggests it takes about 66 days to solidify a routine, so commit to small, steady steps. The payoff is a life where stress no longer calls the shots you do. Don't wait for the perfect moment to start. Right now, pick one Stoic exercise. Try writing a journal entry tonight, asking, "What did I control today?" Or take a moment to visualize a challenge and plan your response. These small acts spark big changes. Save this video to your playlist to revisit whenever you need a reminder. If it's helped even a little, I'm thrilled. Share it with others. A single insight might shift someone's perspective. Like, subscribe to Daily Stoic Habits, and hit the bell for more. Due to time constraints, we'll stop here. I hope this video has been useful. I'd be delighted if it helps you even slightly. Add it to your playlist to rewatch anytime. And share it with others if a message can change a life. Special thanks, and see you next time.